Hello everyone and welcome to a readathon wrap-up. This one is for the Cat Lady Readathon. I will host any announcement videos, or I found this on, someone mentioned it, but then I did find an announcement video on YouTube, as well as there is a handle on X. So I will link those in the description box so that you can keep an eye out for any future rounds that they decide to do. So this Cat Lady Readathon, there were two portions to this. So one, which is the one that I will go over first, is the non-reading bingo. So they were all in bingos. There were 9 prompts, 9 reading prompts, 9 non-reading prompts. So I got a blackout for the non-reading prompts. It was actually fairly easy. So prompt number 1 was to watch a movie. I watched the Aristocats. I always want to say Aristocrats. The Aristocats by Disney. So I watched that one. Prompt number 2 is to take a nap. I definitely did that the day I got back from Indiana for my dad's funeral. Oh, it took probably about at least a 3 to 4 hour nap. So that was a nice long nap. Prompt number 3 was to have a snack. I had some ice cream. It was delicious. Number 4 was to meditate. I did, and I just thought about my dad. So yeah, just thought about him. And unfortunately I did not have a relationship with my dad, and so it was just kind of like thinking about what could have been type of a thing, and remembering and reflecting on not only on the could have beens and wishing that I had that relationship with him before he passed, that father-daughter relationship, but reflecting on the good memories that I do have of him like lighting the fireworks, is the black ones that grew out and they were like snakes or worms. The ones that were colored that you would light during the day and they would let off like blue, green, red, whatever color smoke. Those little snap ones that you throw on the ground and they pop. Having fun with those. He liked to play games, although he did cheat. But yeah, so just remembering a couple of things with him. He liked to tune organs. He did tune organs. And a couple of times before my parents divorced, and I remember going and watching him and seeing him tune the organ. So anyway, I meditated on all of that. Free space is a free space, and I just took that as I played with Ophelia. She likes to chase a laser pointer, so I did that. Number 6 is to draw a cat. Well, I'm working on my catwalk TBR board for summer, so yeah, that and just doodling. I just doodled a cat. So yeah. Number 7 is to go for a walk. I can't walk very far without starting to double over in pain because my back is so messed up. I have an elliptical bike, a recumbent bike, which is much more comfortable. But this, and I did the recumbent bike a couple of times within this last month. Walking is a bit harder. However, on the flight home from Indiana for my dad's funeral, we had a layover in Arizona. So the flight from Indiana to Arizona got delayed due to snow in Indiana because it snowed the day we were taking off. So we were supposed to land, have maybe a 2-hour layover in the airport in Phoenix, Arizona. Well, we didn't land from Indiana into Arizona until like an hour or 2 after our flight was supposed to take off. So our flight was delayed from Indiana by like 3 to 4 hours. So we had to spend the night in the airport, and because it wasn't active weather, they would not put us in a hotel or anything like that. So we had to, if we want a hotel, we'd have to spend the night and we'd have to fork over the money for a hotel ourselves. And it was me and my uncles, my 2 uncles. So we just opted to stay in the airport. I had one uncle that could sleep in the chairs. I could not. And one uncle was able to lay on the floor. I tried laying on the floor a couple of times. I maybe got 30 minutes, if that. But most of the time I would sit, and then when I would start to hurt from sitting on the chairs because they don't have good back support, I would get up and I would walk up and down the airport. So I consider that going for a walk because I definitely did that. I got, before our flight, 5,000 to 6,000 steps easily between the hours of midnight and when we finally took off at like 8 o'clock in the morning, because I just got up so I would sit for about 15 to 30, maybe 45 minutes, and then I would get up and walk just all the way down to one side of the airport and the other without having to go out to go through TSA and all that again. But so yeah, I walked that airport. So prompt number 8 was to have tea or coffee. I do not drink tea and I do not drink coffee. I hate the smell of coffee. And tea, no. I mean, there are some herbal teas that I've had that have been okay, and have had tea that has tasted good, but it's a part of, one, I have a lot of plant allergies, and so I don't really want to risk having that with tea where it's specifically from the leaves of plants. I don't want to risk an allergic reaction. And the other thing is the teas that I know I can have, like I know I can have like peppermint tea, but I have trouble flavoring it, and I can't add honey because I'm severely allergic to honey. But so yeah, so this is a prompt I could not fulfill, but I did have a drink that I like, and I had a Diet Coke, like a fountain Diet Coke with ice from like McDonald's or something. So, or was it Wendy's? I don't remember. Either way, I had a fountain Diet Coke. So I'm counting it as done because physically I just cannot do the tea or the coffee. Number 9 is to stretch. Well, I mean, you think about stretching. I stretch after a nap. Oh, stretch. Arch the back when I can. Bend down and touch the toes. And yeah, and sitting in the airport is another time that during that Arizona airport layover, that was another time that I got some stretching in, because it's like, I just can't, I'm either walking or I'm sitting kind of stretching and trying to get more comfortable and stretch the muscles so I don't get too sore. So I ended up with a blackout. I'm saying I had a blackout for the non-reading prompts for the Cat Lady bingo. Okay, now let's get into the reading prompts. So prompt number 1 for the reading prompts. So the goal is to read. Now in the announcement video, the creator said that it's not going to be such a big deal. I mean, the goal is ultimately to read a book that has cats in it or cats on the cover, but it is cat related, but it's not going to be such a big deal this round. But each prompt is related to a cat. So number 1 is to read a book with a cat on the cover. I did Katie the Catsitter, Best Friends Forever. As you can see, there's a black cat right here. There's a cat here next to the skateboard. There's some silhouettes of cats, which are going to be harder to see, but there are silhouettes of cats back there. This is a middle grade. This is number 2 in the Katie the Catsitter graphic novel series. And this is just about Katie, who on this cover is right here, right in the middle. She is it's a middle school, so she's in middle school, and there's this tenant that lives in the apartment, in the apartment complex, the same apartment complex that her mom and her live on. There are people that are superheroes and supervillains and sidekicks. She's in the process of, as friends grow and stuff, of seeing if she's still going to be friends with those friends that she had before or not. This tenant that's in the same apartment complex has over 200 cats, and so Katie will go and cat sit at night sometimes. So yeah, it was fun. This is a really cute read. There are 3 out so far. A 4th one is supposed to come out by the end of this year. I can't remember exactly when, but there is a 4th book on its way. Prompt number 2 is to read a book with illustrations. And so I did Katie the Catsitter number 1. Now, I did this one for book with illustrations prior. Like, I counted this one for that prompt rather than cat on the cover, just because I wasn't sure how many books with cats on the cover I was going to be able to fit in, or read books with illustrations and stuff. So, but I read quite a few graphic novels and mangas, and so of course there's illustrations in the cover. You know, and this is just Katie. This is the start of her starting to question certain friendships that she has had. This is where she meets the other tenant in her apartment complex, who owns over 200 cats in her apartment that she goes to cat sit. She wants to raise money to go for camp in this one. She meets some new friends. She still has her old friends and things like that. So still a middle grade fun. Both of these I ended up giving 5 stars. The second one, Bestfriends Forever, was 209 pages, and the first one was 205 pages. So, prompt number 3 is to read a book with 4 or more words in the title, and unfortunately I did not complete that prompt. Number 4 is to read a book that is translated, and this book is translated from Japanese, and that is A Man and His Cat by Umi Sakurai. I have listened to how to pronounce this several times. Do you think I can ever remember how to pronounce that correctly? No. So this is volume 1 in the A Man and His Cat series. Sometimes we have a POV from the man and sometimes there's a POV from the cat, at least in the first one. I'm hoping that keeps up as the series continues. I gave this 4 stars. It was 144 pages. This man walks into this animal shelter shop type place and adopts this cat. This cat is like 1 or 2 years old, and you get points of view from the cat, from perspective from the cat when he's like feeling hard on himself because no one wants to adopt him because he's older, he's not a kitten anymore, and things like that. So it does pull on the heartstrings just a little bit. Ophelia, my cat, when I adopted her from the pet store, she was 2 years old, so she definitely was older, and the kittens definitely go first. So yeah. Okay. Prompt number 5 is the free space. So, you know, if I even for free spaces, for readathons with the bingos, I still like to read a book. I did not get another book read, but where it's a free space, technically it is already fulfilled. So I don't need to worry about that. Prompt number 6 is to read a book that has cat in the title. And I read the third, Katie the Catsitter. This one is Secrets and Sidekicks. So Catsitter, I mean, it's just following the events of the second one. She learns more about the sidekicks, and that some people that were sidekicks were pulled in more towards the villain side and turn out to be villains. People can switch sides. Those that she thought was good are actually evil, and things like that. Friendships have stronger bonds made. Her mom finds out some secrets, so you have a little tension there, but you know, it's a middle grade, things do get resolved. So yeah, 5 stars, 211 pages for this one, and I am so looking forward to the 4th one to come out. Prompt number 7 is to read a book that has a cat as a character. This is a manga, and I read The Complete Cheese Sweet Home Part 2. This is by Konami Kanada. So this is like all individual, but yeah, it's all, the cat is the character because everything is from the cat's perspective. The cat's name is Cheese. She's just a little kitten. In this particular volume, the family that she is living with are moving from one apartment that they were in where pets were not allowed to a place where they can make Chi more at home. They don't have to try to hide her. Pets are allowed in this new home that they have. So I mean, that's pretty much it. Chi goes exploring. She meets some new playmates, some new friends, some other cats, and even runs across paths of friends from the complete volume number 1. So there are a total of 4 of these complete series. I mean, these are like 5 or 6 individual mangas wrapped up into one. So there's 4 of these compilations, and I did order, I got my tax refund. I ordered the next 2, so I have this entire set now, so I can just continue on when I am ready. So this is just so sweet. And everything, again, like I said, is from Chi's perspective. So she is the character. Prompt number 8 is to read a book with a dark cover. For this one, I am going with Bride by Ali Hazelwood. This is a adult. It does get spicy. This is an adult fantasy romance. It's a romance between a vampire and a werewolf. It's a marriage of convenience type of a situation. You have fated mates talked about and things like that. So there's not only the marriage of convenience, but the Misery is the vampire's name. She is sent off as a child to go and live with another family, to like a human family, to be like an alliance of convenience type situation, except it's not a marriage because she is a child. You do have a cat in this, so that's why I'm counting this. And the cat is mentioned a lot. Misery has a childhood friend When the friend gets older, the friend takes in a cat. The cat is referred to, I don't remember what her friend called the cat, but Misery kept calling the cat the damn cat, or that damn cat. So, yeah, and for whatever reason, the cat ends up at the house where she is now living due to this marriage of convenience with this guy's little sister, who has taken this cat in because her friend is still missing. She's trying to find her friend, and the cat's name is Sparkles in this. So, but Misery will not call it Sparkles. She calls the cat that damn cat. So it is referred to quite a bit in this. So that's why I'm saying this counts, because there is a cat in this. And the friend is like, you better take care of my cat if anything happens. You've got to love something more than me. And so there's this big hoo-ha, and references a lot to the cat. Okay, the last reading prompt for the Cat Lady, yes, the Cat Lady Readathon, is to do a quick read. I did another manga. I read Creepy Cat by Cotton Valent. This is actually volume 4, and this one was a reread for me. There was a prompt for another readathon, and it might be a year-long readathon where it's to read the final book in a series, and so I'm like, I'm just going to reread this one because it will fulfill that prompt and this prompt. So, yeah, this stayed at a 5-star and 125 pages. Absolutely loved it. I am so glad that I found this readathon. So Creepy Cat, it's a paranormal gothic. There are some cats that grow and they have little, like, think of like a centipede or a millipede. They can kind of come into that. They can disappear and pop up somewhere else. They can float and fly. And so that's pretty much all I want to say. The main female character in this likes to do art, and it is very much a gothic. You have references to witches and vampires, things like that. So 5 stars. I highly recommend this. If you're looking to get into graphic novels and like cute paranormal stuff, I highly recommend Creepy Cat. So that is it. Those are the books that I read for the Cat Lady Readathon. Let me know. Did you participate in the Cat Lady Readathon? If you missed out on this, is this a readathon that you would like to participate in the future? I will put the host's YouTube channel in the description box, as well as the link to the channel for it on X. So those are the 2 that I will link in the description box, so that you can keep an eye on those to see if there's going to be any further rounds in the future. And I hope there is, because I would love to participate in this, because I call myself a cat lady. I love cats. So if I count the free space being a free space and that it is done, then I will have read, have completed 9 of the prompts where the free space is the free space. Then all but 1 of the reading prompts were done. But if I really wanted to get a book for this free space, which was my ultimate goal, then that's 2 out of the 9 prompts I did not get done. So 7 books relating to cats. Now granted, yes, all but 1 of these were graphic novels or mangas. It still counts. I read them and had a great time with it. So yeah, let me know, what are your thoughts? Have you read any of these books or books from any of these authors? And if you were participating in this and could pick a book that has a cat on the cover or is a predominant feature, what book would that have been? Let me know. Talk to me in the comment section below. And until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book. And I'll talk to you later.